sure that was enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Whatever, Whenever, the show where we talk about whatever we want, whenever we want. I am Robin.
Now I'm the Mentok, the newest Elden Lord.
Yeah, you've been finishing up Elden Ring, haven't you?
Yeah, like I normally I don't have a lot of time during the week to play like hardcore, so I need to like kind of put my video gaming on the weekends, and I was up till 6 in the morning, cheesing the hell out of the last few bosses because goddamn I was so like exhausted after a while. That's my one thing with open world games. Like, there's some threshold where it's just like, all right, man, I don't care anymore. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Like, I just now finally got to face Arceus, like, last night
Hmm.
in Legends Arceus, and I was like, okay, finally, he's on my team. Now I don't have to look at this. Despite me loving the game to death, it's like,
I
okay,
love this
cool,
game,
finally.
but get
Yeah.
away from me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I'll come back whenever they update it, assuming they do it again.
I have a much lower attention span for games these days. So like,
I
I
feel
have
that.
that initial threshold where I'm like super excited to start it, and then when I start, I'm like, oh, this game's great. Then you just like put tens and tens of hours into it, and then you're just like, man, this just needs to be done already. And then you just
Like,
don't want to look at it for a long time. But
yeah, like I put like fucking over almost 300 hours into Breath of the Wild, and I still haven't found or completed everything in that game. And I
yeah,
haven't made a new file. I haven't done anything like that. It's all in the same file. I just haven't done all of it.
and that's the thing with me. I'm getting like open world fatigue. Like every
I
other
feel that.
game is open world now, and like everyone encourages everyone to take that route. When, like, honestly, with I'll call it almost call it Elden Souls, Elden
Yeah.
Ring. Um, like I think that the open world is cool and all, and it's nice to find little tombs and have like those mini sections where you have a boss at the end that's somewhat challenging and stuff like that. Like much like Breath of the Wild with the shrines, where you go and you solve a puzzle and you get a prize. Elden Ring is set up very similarly, and I thought that was cool and all, but like I honestly prefer like the tight world map hub design from like Dark Souls because it was just so perfectly crafted, where it's just like you get through one area, then you pop out of like another area that you've already been, and you're like, oh shit, like these two places are connected. That's crazy. And like I don't know. I just feel like more prone to exploring worlds like that because I know that because they're smaller in scale, like there's more detail overall most of the time, and it's less repetitive that way too. But I'm not saying there's no place for open world games, but just and I kind of like hub worlds these days now.
Yeah. Like I've got like nothing against like open world games in general. I'm just tired of every single game being one.
Yeah, I can't play five of them at the same damn time. Like
Yeah.
you know, so as much as I want to play Horizon Forbidden West, I'm taking a refreshing break and playing Triangle Strategy that came out for the Switch last week. Um, and it feels great because there's no open world. It's just tactics, battles, and story, and I just get to kind of just cruise, after all those stressful bosses.
Yeah, that's good. Speaking of games that don't have open worlds, I released a game that doesn't have an open world the other day.
Yeah, so I saw you posted it in my Discord and stuff. Um, how'd that go? How do you feel about all of it?
Um, I'm just glad that it's released, but looking back on it, there is like a lot of stuff that I wish I could have done differently.
Hmm.
Like, there's still some bugs in it that like I look back and I'm like, how is that still in the game? Or like, I could always just patch it out, but I'm trying to work on other stuff too. So I don't know, maybe I'll remake it one day. But for those of you who don't know, I have set up an itch.io page. It'll be linked in the description. And on that is a game that I made in about a month or so, using RPG Maker's MV and their like pre-built assets. It's called Two Siblings: A Night of Adventure, which is a nod to At Studio's Two Brothers game, because Andrew has been a really big helpful guy to me lately and encouraged me to make games and stuff. So, yeah, thought it was cool.
Yeah, I figured that was the inspiration. I was like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I must say that the pre-rendered assets now for RPG Maker actually look pretty nice.
Yeah, they do look really good. Like, I know, like, they have that style to them where you look at them and you're like, okay, this is clearly an RPG Maker game, but it's not like, oh, it's an RPG Maker game. It's like, oh yeah, this looks nice.
Yeah, like previous RPG Maker games where it was really obviously a RPG Maker game.
Yeah.
I'm glad they kind of grew out of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Like, I honestly didn't expect it to be released this soon. So that's good news, and like I'm glad that you have all these creative mediums. Not only you have your Newgrounds, but you have RPG Maker games that you're working on now. So I guess like, despite some of the bugs that you found in there, are you excited to move on to the next project, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for my next game and another game that I am in talks of working on as well. I don't know if I can really talk too much about that because I literally just had a call with a guy earlier today. But yeah, no, I'm super excited because the last game was just me using like pre-made maps and pre-made assets and stuff, and I like didn't really experiment with anything other than like a puzzle, a chaser enemy battles, and some like one hidden item is in the game. And but yeah, for the next one, I'm definitely going to be now that I'm more experienced in the engine, I've started using plugins that like let you do more stuff. And yeah, I've just I feel like I can definitely make a better game now, and I can probably reach out to more people to test the game and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what comes in the future because I actually downloaded it. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but I'm excited to see what it's like. I should stream it.
Yeah, you should stream it so that way I can watch you encounter the bugs in real time.
What is happening here?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've played I think the last RPG Maker game I played was Five Nights at Fuckboys. Yeah. So
Yeah.
honestly, that game surprised me as far as like how well done it was.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Definitely kind of outdated though. So if you guys plan on going back to like Five Nights at Fuckboys, yeah, expect some jank. It was already jank when it was released, but like it's some pretty old memes in there too.
Yeah. There's like another thing that I wish I had done differently is the game is like a little grindy, especially towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like the max level is level 15, so it's not too bad. But like if you're not level 15, then the final like boss battle of the game is gonna be a pain in the ass. Like,
Okay.
To the point where like day one, I had to release a patch that nerfed the final boss and buffed one of the healing items because it was just that bad. Like, the final boss would like heal 500 health. It has like this move when it gets to low health, it now restores 200, but it used to restore 200 health, and it had like 10,000 HP. I think it still does, but like it had 10,000 HP. So by the time you manage to like get over the fear that it inflicts on your party members, it will have gained like 1,500 HP back. So you're kind of like gotta redo it. But I nerfed it so that way it only heals 200, and the dispel bars can now cure fear.
I always used to like hate when enemies healed themselves.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
uh, yeah, I mean like working around like the grind and stuff is balancing out. Like I think with RPG Maker games, there's like a fine line between whether you're trying to tell a story or if you want like really hardcore RPG mechanics. And I've seen
Yeah.
people like dabble in one or the other. I haven't seen a lot with like a very good balance between the two. Um, like I've seen like the horror games where they just take out the RPG elements entirely. Like there's no battling whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's all like puzzles and stuff, and those
Yeah.
work, like Eve and Masao, and those all work and stuff. But yeah,
I was always interested in like trying to make one of them, but I definitely don't have like the time and patience to do it now. But when I was
that's
growing
fair.
up, I'm like, how do I get my hands on this RPG Maker? And I was
Well, I mean, if you ever get the idea for a story, we could probably work on something together.
that would be cool if I could think of stories these days. I used to like
That's fair.
I think when I was like growing up, I'm just like it'd be cool if an RPG had this story. And now that I'm older, I'm like, man, that's kind of cringe. Maybe not that story. But
Well, you never know. Maybe you could take an old idea and polish it up.
yeah, pretty much. I'll think on that. I'll see
Cool.
if we can collab on something. I mean, I have a ton of lore to work with already for my own channel.
Yeah, I still gotta get around to making a game based on your channel that has me and you as party members in it at some point.
We were talking
Mark.
about that for a while. It's funny that you
Yeah,
actually finally get to work with RPG Maker.
yeah, for
Well,
sure.
cool. So congrats on your first game. It's time to create a game studio, name it.
I have thought of names for studios actually. Uh, the one that keeps sticking in my mind is What Studios, because I think it would be funny if you started up a game and then it was just the guy looking confused and you heard the voice slip, huh? What?
I feel like game studio names are a lot like 90s rock band names. You know.
Oh, what you mean? You mean like Fusion Games, Epic Games?
Yeah, things like no, just like even more super massive games or Naughty Dog or
Oh yeah,
like I've seen like you would just click around Steam and you'll see like
big red button.
right Brain Pop Games, something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, we're Brain Pop and we're about to rock your world right now. Like it's kind of like that. I feel like they're interchangeable.
Yeah, I feel you.
Hello Games. It's a
Hello
it's a
Games.
band called Hello.
Yeah. Metallica Games.
Metallica Games. Led Zeppelin Games.
Led Zeppelin Software.
Kiss Games.
You gotta put in like studios and software for some of them.
Oh
So
yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
be
yeah.
like
Kiss
Yeah, so-
Studios.
Kiss Studios, Led Zeppelin Software.
I want to see some comments of more of those.
Yeah, come on. Comment on the videos, god damn it. I know you're watching.
You guys are lurking.
You guys
Lurking
are
and
lurking. We have 40 views on the first episode. Please just comment.
it does wonders for the algorithm apparently. I don't know when YouTube got like this, but people can't prove it, but they say that the likes and comments like bubble up videos on the recommended stuff, so people have to
Yeah.
like watch and then engage, and if they're doing all of that, then the algorithm kind of takes over. I love how like this algorithm is just like this mysterious god that's been
Yeah,
in the
it's-
background. Like everybody, the way
Yeah.
everyone talks about it is just like the algorithm.
Especially for like my generation who's like grown up watching YouTube like almost more than TV. I think more at this point because I don't watch TV anymore.
Same.
But like, yeah, but like we've grown up watching like YouTube more than TV. So for us, the algorithm, like, there's no way we haven't seen a YouTuber like at this point like complain about the algorithm before. So we're like, we have it hyped up as like this like god of YouTube that can take away a creator's livelihood in just like this snap.
The the all-knowing algorithm, the all-knowing.
Yes.
I like that.
That should be like a secret boss in the Mentok game.
Yeah, can you? Because
A
I'm like,
secret boss.
that's like my new catchphrase now. Like, help me with my battle against the algorithm. So,
Yeah.
um, because like, a lot of people like to complain about it, and I see why they did it. You know, like you can't. I don't think there's enough employees at YouTube to run YouTube. You know, and then
Yeah.
you want people to watch things, and I think lately, like the watch time just overall on YouTube has gone up over the years. So I guess the mission was accomplished, but at the same time, I don't know the how a small creator gets popular these days. And
I think it's luck based mostly.
yeah, that's basically what it is. Like if they have that one video, but like I've noticed people are like subscribing less and watching
Yeah.
more. So I think that we're in a less of a loyalty section of YouTube now, and I could be wrong, but like I right now I don't subscribe a lot too. Like I'm even in my own personal like account, like I don't subscribe a lot to a lot of YouTubers. I just kind of watch the content, and then YouTube will recommend more of those videos to me without me even having to subscribe. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's very rare that I do it because I don't know. I don't know why. It's
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's like I don't know. It's like I think part of it is like the recommendation system has been drastically changed.
yeah,
And then another part of it is again, the just people like have grown up hearing YouTubers say constantly like and subscribe, comment, and all that stuff, and it's gotten to the point where like they just don't want to.
out of
Because, like,
pride, just sheer pride. Don't tell me what to
No,
do.
it's not even price. It's just like we've heard it like so many times, like a million times, that it just goes in one ear and out the other.
Right.
So it's like don't forget to subscribe, and it's like, yeah, okay.
And that's true for me, but I've heard that call to action works in getting people to actually do that.
Yeah, I've heard that it works. It's probably
Like,
working on like younger people though.
maybe.
Not like
Yeah.
not like you and me, because like you and me like would hear like we'd like watch a video one off, and then the guy would say, "Don't forget to subscribe," and then we'd be like, "Yeah, okay, not doing that." But, like,
Okay, go finish. Go ahead.
what happened?
No, I was gonna ask, like, I don't know why I thought of this randomly, but like, have you seen these iceberg videos that have been popping up lately?
Yeah, I've watched like a bunch of them.
What what is the fascination of it? I feel like it's just like a bunch of information that doesn't connect well. It's like, okay, well, like for example, it's just like, oh, the dark side of YouTube iceberg, and then they'll just like pick like a bunch. It's like a bunch of names out of a hat, and then they'll talk a little bit, like 3 sentences about the thing, and then move on. Do you like that format? And like, do you know who started all of that? Because I thought it was one YouTuber doing it, and then I just see the same thumbnail every time. It's like an iceberg, and then clips of the thing posted all over the iceberg. With
Okay, so I admit that like a bunch of them have gotten pretty lazy, but there are still like some really good ones where like they actually will go in depth on each topic. And it started out because like for years there was like this meme of like the Mario 64 iceberg, where
Mhm.
where they would go into all this stuff, and then like at the top it would be like stuff, and then it would get into like speedrun strategies, and then it would be like dark conspiracy theories at the very bottom. So the idea behind that was like, people kept sharing that for like around like a year or so, and then someone on YouTube covered that iceberg specifically,
right.
and then after that, people like it sort of became a trend, and then like the trend just never died out. And so it's kind of the same general like format. If you want like good long form content, the Dylan the Night Owl did like a bunch on like creepypastas and like YouTube like videos and stuff, and he does go like pretty in depth for some of them. It's just that like some of them like you don't really need to go super in depth to explain it. Like like what's Dad? Oh, he's this ARG channel run by a guy called Nathan Barnett.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has his own lore and he does music and stuff. Moving on, and the next video is like some rumored like gore video that got posted on YouTube, and so you have to give a lot more context to what that is and
Yeah.
explain how it's bullshit or something.
Right.
You know, so it's like I don't know. For me, it's interesting because like it's good to have on in the background and stuff, and you also like can just if it's something that like you're really interested in, like Pokemon or something, you can like learn more like facts through it that you didn't know. Like Novik, I think his name is. I probably pronounced that wrong. He did some on Sonic a while back, and I learned some stuff that I hadn't even learned even from your videos in there.
Really?
Which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah.
Who is this man? Send the assassins.
I think you've interacted with him once on Twitter because I told you about a video of his.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He totally ignored me. We're actually like
Yeah.
at the we were actually at the same like subscriber levels. I think that he took off a little bit faster than I did. But
Yeah.
we're at the same subscriber level at the same time, and we were like covering similar topics. So I was just like, "Hey man, we should work on something," and totally didn't say anything to me, which I don't take personally or anything. I'm just letting you know what happened with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no problem. But yeah, no, that's what I think. Like, I don't know. It's just like it's like easy and digestible kind of content. I wouldn't say easy to make because like unless you're being lazy with it, and you can tell when someone's being lazy with an iceberg video because like you said, it's like 3 sentences about the thing and then moving on.
Right.
But like there's good ones where people do go into like in depth with it. Like Retro Gaming Now, for example, whose entire channel like is Minecraft based, and it took off because he did those Minecraft iceberg videos, and they were really well put together.
Yeah, and it's like with those especially, you have to bring in some facts that people don't know about. You know, make it like very interesting and in depth. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad that you know a little bit about those because I just see them on my recommended all the time. I'm like, why is this happening? I can't support this trend. But at the same time, I'm, no hatred toward it. It's just not like, it's not my cup of tea. It reminds me a lot of like, Did You Know Gaming though? Because they kind of do that too. They'll pick like one game and then it's like, oh, well, this was what happened when this game came about and stuff like that. And they're pretty thorough. I just haven't seen their videos in a long time.
Yeah, I still watch them. They have like a very different kind of style than their older videos. Because you know how their old videos were just like, here's the facts and nothing but the facts.
Yeah, which is how I liked it.
Yeah, they're like newer videos. There still are like facts, but like they're like semi. They're like well, not even semi. They're like permanent hosts, like Daz and stuff from Region Lots. He like kind of like will like interject with like a joke every now and then, or like a transition statement or something, which it's not like it's not too bad, but like I kind of just prefer their old style where it was just facts.
Do they still feature like different creators and things like that? Because I remember that's what they were doing for a while.
Yeah, I think they do occasionally. I don't think they've done it like recently. And I think part of that is because they featured Cosmodore before everything about him came out.
So they kind of stepped away from that.
Yeah, I think like Pro Jared, they like redid all the episodes that had him in before it turned out that he wasn't as bad as everyone was saying he was.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a year later they had Cosmodore. So I think they just decided maybe it's better if we don't risk it.
Just played with fire there entirely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the risk that you have when you feature certain creators. Like, um, I'm trying to figure out like, I think like the Smash Bros scene went through that a lot, and um, tournaments and Evo and all that. Like, people who used to be featured are denounced by those people now, so it's just kind of like comes with the territory, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. Shit sucks. Wish people would just stop being shitty.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Like all over the world, if they would just
Yeah.
stop being shitty.
Yeah.
um,
I should. You know what I should make? I should make like a short little game where you just go around telling people to fuck off who are being like shitty people, and you have no repercussions for doing so.
wasn't there a game like that called like it was like something about saying no or whatever?
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
just say no.
is that the name of
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I think it's just say no is the name of it.
I was wondering, like, you can say it in different languages and all this other stuff. Like, I guess one day
Yeah.
somebody just gets tired of everything at work and just starts to say no to everything. And I thought that was quite the interesting concept.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that like amounted to an actual good game.
I think it's like I think it's good from what I've heard. I haven't like played it before, but I don't know. It seemed like a short little fun game.
Yeah,
To
like a
pass
nice
the
little
time.
pickup.
Yeah. Like kind of like Untitled Goose Game where it's not that long, you know, but it's you still have a fun time with it.
I still haven't played that.
Yeah.
Like that's something that's still on my list. Like I've seen people, I'm just like, what's the charm in this? But maybe it's one of those games like, after like post Elden Ring, it would have been nice to play.
Yeah. Totally get you.
Any other YouTube content you've been watching like lately? Anything out of the ordinary?
Um, I've been binging a lot of Civi 11's videos.
What does he do?
He talks about mostly FPS games, which is funny because I notoriously don't like playing FPS games.
Which actually might not be like the worst setup overall because you just watch somebody else play and discuss games that you take somewhat of an interest in, even though you don't really want to play it.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what I did with Markiplier and like Five Nights at Freddy's for a while.
yeah. He's most well known for his coverage of like Duke Nukem 3D and his series called Pro Postal, where he plays through all of Postal 2 on hard, and he made a video on Postal 3 that was pretty good. And he's also known for having intentionally shitty and like impossible to understand channel lore. Like you know how all the Channel Awesome guys had like those stupid like lore that you couldn't understand,
Yeah.
like Linkara especially.
Yes.
I think his whole shtick is that he's taking the piss out of it because like you'll watch. It doesn't matter if you watch all of his videos from start to finish in order or not. You're not gonna understand the lore, and if you claim that you do, you don't.
Channel lore, I haven't been into too much these days too. Like, I think
Yeah.
one example is like, I still watch a lot of Markiplier from time to time, and he just like announced, I think, In Space with Markiplier. So like, he has those like original content things that he does, and while I think it's like very well produced and all that, and like, it's his entrance into acting, even though like I think he always wanted to act and just never managed to break into Hollywood, much like other YouTubers. So he makes like his own original content. And while like I think, there's a lot of backstory behind stuff, I don't know. I feel kind of exhausted with all of the things that he's released. and like trying to find all the connections and things like that. I'm not really into him as a creator that much where I'm not interested in that story that he's trying to tell.
Yeah, I understand.
And again, it's a very well done stuff. Like I can tell that he puts a lot of work into it, and he's a hardworking guy. But yeah, it's not for me. Just play the scary games. I like to watch you do that.
Shut up and play the scary games.
Do the thing you're known for, man.
Do the thing. Make more Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Make more Slender the Arrival videos.
No, that's Matt Pat.
Yeah. Who, coincidentally enough, also acted.
Oh God, no! Don't talk. Let's not talk about that.
No. You don't understand. He played Peter Parker in Spider-Man, like After Dark or whatever the name of that play was that got like 9 Spider-Men killed.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
You didn't know that?
He played Spider-Man in a play?
Yeah.
Like
He played like
at his school or something, or
no,
what?
like Broadway.
Broadway.
It was something like that. Looked it up. It was like there was like this famous like Spider-Man play that was notorious because
I
the stunt.
I remember
stunts-
hearing about the Spider-Man play.
Yeah, the stunts kept going wrong, so like 3 guys who played Peter and Spider-Man got killed. But like doing it, so eventually they just stopped doing it because it was the most expensive thing, and people kept dying from acting in it.
2011, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark is a musical.
That's what it was.
With music and lyrics by Bono and The Edge, and a book by Julie Taymor, Glenn Berger, and Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. Interesting. So you said Matt was Peter Parker in this?
Yeah, he was in one of them at least.
Let me find out here.
Yeah, but like, he at least played Spider-Man in some kind of play at some point, because I've seen him like on stage in the costume with his head and like face sticking out of the suit because he's unmasked or something.
This is blowing my mind right now.
You didn't know about this? I thought everyone knew about this.
Everybody didn't know about this. I didn't know about this. I don't see him.
Yeah.
I don't see him over here, but let me Google that. Spider-Man Broadway Matt Pat.
Yeah. I'm looking for it too, because I swear to God this is real.
We're doing our research, guys.
Yeah, we are.
I can't picture like this guy putting out a good show, and like he's good as a YouTuber, but Broadway? Spider-Man. Okay. He eventually quit his job as a stage director and in the acting business in general after hardly getting any roles. And a deciding factor was seeing Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, a musical Matt disliked so much that it finalized his decision to pursue another career.
Okay, that's what it was. I swear to God, I've seen him in the costume though.
Maybe he was like just on set with it or something.
I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, no.
Well, let's take a look at the Spider-Man. Let's take a look at Spider-Man a little bit and see what's going on down there.
Spider-Man.
And let me tell
Down
you,
there.
I learned some things that I didn't know about Spider-Man until today.
For example, did you know that he used to have web wings in the comics? The most basic fact that everyone who knows anything about Spider-Man knows.
Oh, Matt Pat never change. I'll be honest though, I go to his like channel all the time to get like thumbnail inspiration and like title inspirations, because I feel like he has that like under his belt and he's pretty dope at that. So I'm not knocking him, but he's a YouTube historian, for lack of a better word.
His channel.
You blocked his channel?
Yeah, because I kept getting recommended the videos, and I was like, I'm sick of seeing them, so I just blocked his channel from being able to appear.
Yeah, his titles are like unapologetically clickbaity.
Yeah, no, I
and
was
I didn't appreciate some of them. I think the latest one
no,
is like, will Disney buy Nintendo? And I think the
no.
the conclusion, I didn't even watch it, but I think the conclusion is like they can make an offer if they're trying to get into the gaming business, which they're not, and Nintendo has to agree to be bought. So isn't that like anything, like with any company though, like any
It's just
business?
that's like almost as bad as the time he was like Phoenix Wright is actually doing illegal practices, and then it's like yeah, that's the plot of Ace Attorney 3.
Yeah, four. Was it three or four? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was 3 because 3 is when he got his attorney badge taken away, and then 4 was when the Apollo Justice series started and he was a hobo.
I think like they go into the backstory in four, and then three was just like the end of that trilogy or whatever. Either
Yeah.
way, like I need to replay those games.
Yeah.
Check out those Phoenix Wright games. They they walked so Danganronpa could run.
I think the newest Phoenix Wright specifically game was inspired by Danganronpa because
um,
it's rated M and it has like mood sensors in it.
the latest one, Great Ace Attorney is are you talking about the?
No, Great Ace Attorney is the one that's in the past with his ancestor Ryunosuke
Oh, okay.
Naruhodo.
You're
Yeah.
talking about the latest in the Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
I don't even want to
Latest.
say trilogy, just series, I guess. I
Yeah.
played that one. That's one of my favorites, actually. I'm surprised that, like, because I think the one before that I thought was okay. I thought the formula was getting a little stale, and then they came back and I think they did a great job with that.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
um, I guess speaking of video games right now, like, well, we've been talking about video games this whole time, or
Yeah.
YouTube back and forth. Um, are you seeing all this new marketing stuff for the Sonic movie, or is it just me? Because
I
I'm
like
being like recommended this stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I like woke up and immediately saw like the Paramount like final trailer thing like in my recommended and was like, okay, I guess I have to watch it now.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to avoid it. I'm like, is this one of those spoilery trailers? But it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too
Like you kind of learn a little bit more about the progression of the plot, but it doesn't give away a lot of things. I think there's like a scene I think that they show like toward the end or whatever. I don't know, but I I have a question.
What's that?
I think that there's an emerald in this movie. It's green.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a Chaos Emerald or do you think that's the Master Emerald?
I think it's the Master Emerald. I don't think they're gonna be doing the Chaos Emeralds in this one, especially because that thing's fuck off huge and Knuckles is in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I think it's the Master Emerald. It would be a little weird if Knuckles like is kind of tied to just going after a Chaos Emerald, but um, I believe it's the Master Emerald for a few reasons. One, we see in this trailer like it has an influence over Robotnik, which I thought was um a great addition to his roster, I guess, because he's kind of like floating around with the power of the Emerald, and he's like, using its abilities to create robots and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like a nice touch. Even though it's not canon, I think that happened in the Archie comics though. Like Eggman's able to like use powers to create robots and things like that. So I think a lot of this is actually inspired by an early arc in the Archie comic, when Knuckles
Yeah,
is introduced.
that's pretty interesting. Actually, speaking of which, we need to end this episode off with some more Archie trivia for you because I found this out today and it is insane.
All right, great.
Please
Well,
continue.
but no better time than than today to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I see like a lot of like little elements from Archie, but I also see like I like that they're simplifying and streamlining a lot of things, but also like making these characters their own in a sense. Like they're on point with some of the characters, but also like you can forgive some things because it's like the movie universe as well. So like I don't know. I think they're doing a great job so far, and to see like this as like one of the most anticipated video game movies of all time. I mean, the bar is kind of low, but I'm so glad it's Sonic. You know,
Yeah, did
like
you see that poster that they released?
yeah, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
talk about. So like they
yeah,
released a whole ass poster that was based on the box art for the original Sonic 2, and everybody lost their collective minds.
yeah. It looks really good.
It does. They have like a ton of posters. I want all of them. I want at least one
Yeah,
of them. I think maybe that one, because
yeah.
I want to
You should.
frame that on my wall too.
Yeah, get the two, the Sonic second movie poster framed up and put on your wall in the background of your videos. That'd be good.
Yeah, I want that one, and then they had one with like Sonic Tails staring down Knuckles and Eggman. So I thought that was a cool one too. And I love how what they've done with like Jim Carrey, because he seems like one of them. So he seems more
Yeah,
like he belongs like around them rather than other humans, strangely enough. So like I think they actually did a pretty great job with like the costume and makeup for that. Um, so shout out to like all of those guys that just put in all that good work. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. I think we mentioned it on the show before, but I do think that like he is like gonna slowly progress into having the egg-shaped body that Eggman has.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like in the first movie he looked nothing like Eggman until the end credits scene. In this one he looks kind of like Eggman, but he's still pretty thin. So I think that we're gonna get an end credits scene at the end of this second movie where like it shows that he's somewhere else. He's probably stuck on another planet or something, and he's just completely let himself go. He's just dedicated all of his time to like looking at stuff on the internet and how to like build more machines or something. You know?
Yeah, I want to see that. Like with every
Yeah.
loss, like he just descends further and further into madness.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
no, wait, I got it. Okay, I got the scene. All right. He's like been stuck on this other planet. Knuckles is turned to the good side, so he can't rely on him anymore.
mhm.
But Agent Stone is still stuck back on Earth, and he's depressed because his gay lover is gone. I'm totally convinced that there was something between those two.
I just love that Agent Stone has become like a fan favorite now too, because I
Yeah,
think that actor is like so excited about it, and I just love
yeah,
his like energy.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so it's like Eggman's stuck on some other planet, and he's like he's like building up something in his lab, and it pans over. You see just his face, and he's like finally it's done, and then it zooms out, and it's just like him like pulling something out of the microwave or something, and he's like gained like 20 pounds or like 200 pounds or something, and he's obviously put on weight, and then he's like finally I can continue working on this, and then it like pans out even more, and it's just Metal Sonic in construction, and then that's the scene.
Oh, that's like yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
Finally,
yeah,
it's done, and it's like for some reason I'm thinking like Hot Pockets or Bagel Bites,
yeah, yeah.
and that could be like their fucking sponsor for the show. Like I wonder
Yeah,
if
that's
Olive
their
Garden is coming back. Who knows?
I Can you imagine like no, if they bring back Olive Garden, I hope they do what the like 2016 Power Rangers movie did with like Krispy Kreme, and just go all out with it, and have like have the villain like take a bite out of like how how like Rita Repulsa in that movie like took a bite out of a Krispy Kreme donut and was like it was like delicious or something like that. I just want them to like break into an Olive Garden and then have Eggman steal someone's pasta and just like eat it and be like, "Ah, this is great."
Just more on the nose this time around. I actually
Yeah,
like
just
that
even
Power
more.
Rangers movie.
Yeah, I've heard it was pretty good. I've only seen like bits and pieces from it.
It's
Mainly that scene in particular.
Yeah, like I honestly think it's worth a watch. Like of course it's a little bit grittier than like normal.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
like Power Rangers, but with edge.
yeah, it has like a little bit more edge to it. It's not like it's a an R-rated film by any means, but like, of course I think they tried to do like that, hey, millennials, come watch this thing that you used to watch and it's upgraded for more epicness. I think Transformers is an iconic movie for that reason because like they just took something that was innocent and just made it like for teens and like above. So
Yeah,
yeah, they like that Power Rangers movie has like a similar take, but like those actors that they got are like kind of big shots now. I think the Pink Ranger was Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. Um, the Yellow Ranger is a Latin American artist. I always confuse the two because there's like two Latin American artists that have like a very similar name. I think hers is Becky G, but I think there's like a Becky C or something like that as well. So I don't want to confuse the two. But yeah, she like completely retired from acting after that, and she like went all in on her career, and she's actually very popular now. So after that movie, it was like apparently it was a failure, but like box office, like it kind of broke even, and then they're like, well, we'll think about doing another one, and then they kind of scrapped the idea. Now they're thinking of like another reboot for the Mighty Morphin
of
Power
course.
Rangers. So it's just funny how like movie politics work.
Yeah. Oh, what this movie did good, but it wasn't good enough for our rich, greedy corporate overlords. I guess we're gonna have to reboot it in another 5 years.
We'll wait a little bit, then reboot.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, like that's as far as like the Sonic movie goes. Like I honestly think that it's gonna kill the box office that weekend. I don't think there's any competition out there for it. Like I think the only thing would have been Batman, but that would have run its course by the time it comes out because Batman came out last week. So
Yeah. It's certainly not that red panda movie that just released that has a horribly pitiful return.
is that what happened? I thought that
Oh
was gonna do a
no.
lot better. I was actually planning on watching it once we're done
It
here.
had a budget of like 157 million, and so far it's only made back 3.8.
Holy fuck!
I know, right? Like I saw that and I was like, "Oh my god."
Is that in theaters?
I think so. It's in theaters like right now. I'm pretty
But I
sure.
know you can watch it on Disney Plus right now.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Disney Plus, but like that's what that's I maybe it's changed by the time this comes out, but that's the last figure I saw personally.
That's interesting because normally Pixar kills it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe it wasn't marketed properly because I saw the trailer and I'm just watching it because it's Pixar, which I know that's the wrong mentality to go about things sometimes, but
Yeah.
like I'm just like, okay, this doesn't look like my cup of tea, but I'll watch it anyway because like Pixar always kind of knows how to write a good story.
I
Um,
haven't seen a single advertisement for it.
yeah, like I saw the trailer and I'm kind of like, what's the point though? You know, like I don't
I
really
haven't
know what the plot is. Like it's so this is not really spoiling it. This is based on what I saw in the trailer. Just there's this girl who hangs out with a bunch of other girlfriends and I think they're in high school or middle school or something like that. And she's a Asian American, I believe too. So she's hanging out at this high school and like all of a sudden she turns into our big red panda and then her parents find out and they're like, oh yeah, this is just something that's run in our family for generations, and now that you've come up age, you can transform into this red panda. And I'm not sure if there's supposed to be like some kind of symbolism behind that, like for coming of age or whatever. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
Turn, turning red, is that like a symbolism for maturing women? I have no idea, but like the whole point, I was lost. It was lost on me. You just see her
Yeah.
struggling to live a normal life because she's randomly turning into this panda. So I didn't think the premise was very creative at all. Like in fact, it kind of reminds me of Brave a little bit because the mom transformed like into a bear.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. I was like, you were describing the plot to me, and I was thinking like this sounds vaguely familiar, and also like something that Pixar has already made.
Correct. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch it anyway because I just need to relax tonight after this podcast. But like,
Yeah.
maybe I'll come back next episode and be like, hey guys, that movie was fucking fire. Toy Story? No. Turning Red.
Choice Story. Choice Story, more like cringe story. Am I right?
A Bug's Life? More like A Bug's Death. You know what I'm saying?
More like that movie isn't nearly as good as people say it is. Please stop hyping it up. I've watched it like 5 times and it's not that good, guys. Shut up.
Finding Nemo? More like Losing Nemo. Cars? More like boats.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made that. They already made planes.
They made planes, like, and was that supposed to be a part of the Cars universe? Because
I think so, yeah.
That was a Disney movie though, and it wasn't a Pixar movie officially, which everybody's like, I would love to see Putt Putt come back in the Cars universe, because I know there's going to be a Cars 4, 5. What number are we at now?
Cars 7, Cars 8, Cars 420, the one where they had officially Snoop Dogg as a car.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. That needs to happen.
Imagine what would Snoop Dogg be as like a car in the Cars universe? Would he be like a Lamborghini? What would
wow, I actually have to think about that. What car would Snoop Dogg be? No, he would be a Volkswagen van.
Yes. Just like the other guy.
The Flower Power van.
Yeah. There is a guy like that though in the movies though.
I'm not even surprised. Funny enough, like there was a car like that in Putt Putt when I played that game, and definitely on the high side. It was like a hippie Flower Power Volkswagen van, and I'm just like, yo, like those must have been some interesting times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as far as back to the Sonic movie, I'm glad that they're throwing in a lot of marketing for this, and I'm excited to see what's gonna go down. I hope that it breaks the box office, because a lot of new kids, like Gen Alpha, I'm talking, are into Sonic now. Like he's killing the game right now, and no pun intended. I just need them to, I say it all the time on this podcast. I just need them to make a great game, and then we'll be in good shape.
Rouge the Bat will once again ruin a lot of young people's futures.
A new generation of people looking at Rouge the Bat's boobs.
Yes.
Rouge the boobs.
Sonic titerations. You remember that video? You remember that JonTron video?
No, it's been a while since I've watched JonTron.
Okay, it was it's not on his channel anymore, I don't think. But like it was the one where like he was with his friends pretending to be like the like developers of Sonic, and like they were like snorting cocaine, and they were like trying to think of like the next idea for the game, and then John was like this is Sonic. What do the kids love these days? And then one day it was just like tits. And then John's like, exactly. And then it shows like the trailer for Sonic Generations, but instead it was John going Sonic Titerations. Play as a pair of tits, and it's just like it's like a cutout like boobs like over what classic Sonic is in the footage.
I mean, Rouge was quite the entry. And then she has like a couple of alternate costumes, so like that joke makes a lot of sense to me.
She has a fucking dominatrix outfit.
Yeah, I think we've talked about. I think I've showed that one on stream actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, because I told you about it, and then like on stream, and you were like, ha, yeah, she does look kind of like a dominatrix, and I was like, no, Mentok, there's an official dominatrix costume for her, and you were like, No,
What?
stop. No, what? And
Yeah.
then you like looked it up immediately, and then you saw it, and you were. I remember it vividly. You just looked at it, and you started shaking your head. With
Well,
like this
I
look of
I
disappointment on
definitely
your
saved that
face.
file. That's somewhere on my hard drive. So I'm not a furry, but don't push me. You know what I mean?
God damn.
um.
Well,
So yeah, like I got closing thoughts.
um. Oh, I still have to tell you about that thing.
Yeah, let's hear about that Archie thing. We have some time.
Okay, so this is something that our good pal Ken Penders did.
Ken Penders.
You know how he was like super obsessed with like Knuckles and the echidnas and all that.
Yes.
He made like the Knuckles comic book series, and for some reason he decided that the story that he wanted to tell in the Knuckles comics was the story of Hitler's rise to power.
Oh my God.
And when I say this, I mean like he was very on the nose about it. Like he did like these like he started out every book in like the opening cover with like a quote, and one of them was literally like that famous poem, just with animals instead of people. You know the poem I'm talking about, the one where it ends, the ones where it ends with like, when we screamed, there was no one left to help us or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the Isaac Asimov one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He literally just changed a few words in that, slapped it at the beginning of the book, and then credited it to Anonymous.
What?
Yeah, no, and
Because it's like super
gets,
popular, and I actually remember that one like at the top of my
Yeah.
head, and you barely had to describe it to me.
yeah, no, and then no, it gets even better. All right, he later on, he had like a quote from like one of the Nazi echidna leader, who like it was a quote referencing the backstab myth, which was like this myth that like Germany had been like backstabbed or something, and it was peddled a lot, and it was used as a way to scapegoat Jewish people for being evil and for the Nazis to rise to power. He not only did he have this echidna character reference that, this guy on YouTube, I forget his name, and I apologize for that, but he looked into that exact quote and found out that quote that was from the supposed echidna leader sounded a lot like something that was written in fucking Mein Kampf.
Ken?
And then later on they have another intro quote saying that's basically just a ripoff of that speech from Independence Day, the "We will not go
Quietly into the night. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
For
and no, I'm not. It was like dingoes were like the oppressed group, and it was like echidnas. It was heavily implied that echidnas were sending them to like concentration camps and labor workforces. And Knuckles literally watches this group rise to power on TV.
So Ken, I'm sorry, I'm a little taken aback. So
Yeah.
Ken, just so for some context, Ken Penders wrote these Archie comics, and like some of his storylines were just so out there that like it's just worth talking. Like that's why we tend to have this trivia at the end of like the episodes from time to time. And
Yeah.
no one in the Sonic fandom really likes Ken Penders anymore. I'll give you guys a I'll give you guys like a good example, like even beyond what we just talked about. So like he did take a lot of those echidna characters, by the way, and tried to make his own series, and I guess like that never really continued. So all he does is kind of bitch about it on Twitter now.
Yeah,
Um, but
and he
I
made them into NFTs.
and made them into NFTs. I will be having my own NFT. Don't worry, you'll understand why in a minute. Like he's always like very vague about his intentions or whatever.
Yeah, he was like, I talked it out with my family, and we believe that making NFTs is good. I know about the environmental concerns, but don't worry about that.
I just remember a Twitter thread. I just pulled it up for this reason. I forgot what
Oh,
was
you
going
don't.
on, but there was like this huge Twitter thread where people were going back and forth regarding like Sally and um
Oh no, not this one.
yes, you know the one. They're going back about Sally and like other characters and whatever. Like it was just this really long thread. And I'll read the last like few tweets here. So someone's like, let me guess the list of girls Sonic dated. I think someone was just like, oh, like look at all these girls that Sonic actually dated in the Archie comics, right? So let me guess the list of girls Sonic dated. Sally, Bunny, Amy, and Mina, but not Tangle and Whisper. And then someone responds, Sonic hasn't dated Amy, and I'm strictly talking in context with Archie Sonic, so no Tangle and Whisper, who are IDW characters. I'm pretty sure he dated Fiona Fox at some point. So the response was, I have known, besides Sonic, Sally dated Antoine, Jeffrey St. John, Monkey Kong, blah, blah, blah. Ken Penders decides to respond out of nowhere, where like everyone's having this long conversation, and Ken Penders says to that tweet, the one story I couldn't tell was Sally losing her virginity to Jeffrey. Sonic may be fast, but Jeffrey was faster on the draw in that department. And everybody's like, bro, what the fuck, Ken? Like, everybody...
Never mind the fact.
the conversation ended quick.
Yeah, never mind the fact that Jeffrey is like 22 or something, and Sally is like 16, and then he went on to justify it by saying this happens all the time in royalty, and Sally is a royal princess. So.
Yeah, someone's like, okay, but like she's a minor and she's a full-grown adult though. And he said there are states here in the U.S. where a 13-year-old can marry someone in their 40s, as repugnant as that reality is. Sally was 16 to Jeffrey's 20, so I don't see a problem given the relationship in royal history. And like everybody's like, yo, please stop, no, Ken, no, we're done with this. So
Yeah, no.
So yeah, that was the pivotal moment for me where I'm just like, oh yeah, he's gone.
He's off as a rocker.
Yeah. Like, why would you even include that in an Archie comic? Archie would have allowed that? I doubt it.
I mean, he's clearly he must have pitched the idea to someone because he said that it was a story he wasn't allowed to tell. So meaning that someone back in the day had to hear that story and go to his face, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Ken, no, we can't. What? No, there's so many reasons why no. But I wanted to tell this story. This is my intention. This is my craft. This is my purpose.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm glad that they're not pulling ridiculous story arcs from the Archie comic into this movie. So they're picking the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean the ridiculous stuff is fun at times, but it's just when you get stuff like like the shit I was talking about earlier, where it's like, okay, dude, come on.
So we have to remember to do a segment like this at the end of any future episodes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think that's it for today, don't you think?
Yeah, take us home.
All right. Thank you all for watching today's episode of Whatever, Whenever, episode 20. It's episode 20.
Is it episode 20?
Yeah. Yeah, it's episode 20.
It's my that's my noisemaker.
I have to, oh fuck, I have to get alcohol tomorrow. That's going to be awful.
Yeah, we have to take a shot of something for
Yeah.
our 21st episode. So make sure you have your shots on deck for all of our viewers that are of age.
Yeah. You tomorrow's gonna be fun. You get to hear firsthand my bitter hatred for alcohol. All right. Well, yes, that's it for today's episode. We'll see you all later.
Peace.